right, fam. We have Lana on the show, videographer, photographer, owner of Mattice Media. How are you, girl?
I'm doing fantastic today. How are you?
Good. It's so glad to have you on the show. Kind of mad that we're matching. I thought I had the fashion name today, but it's okay. Yeah, introduce yourself. Tell the fam who you are, what you do. Yeah, tell us a little about yourself.
Sounds good. My name's Lana, and I am a videographer / photographer located in the Chicagoland area. Full time, I work for a corporation. I'm on their marketing team, doing more like corporate work video, so like product video, training video, stuff for their social media, stuff like that. And then part-time, I also do freelance work, so I'll do videos for like local businesses, usually branding videos, or I'll do like photos for local businesses, stuff like that. Sometimes I'll occasionally shoot weddings. So yeah, I kind of just have my toes in like a little bit of everything.
Love it. So, excuse me. So for those who don't know, oh my God, this water trying to kill me. For those who don't know, me and Lana grew up together, good old Wheaton, Illinois. And we were bus buddies for a minute.
Yeah, for like middle school, right?
Yeah, middle school, and then I think high school too.
High school, were you in the same
Maybe
bus?
we weren't on the same bus, but like we still had like the same groups and circles.
Yeah.
We were like two of the biggest tomboys in school, always playing sports.
Oh yeah.
So like seeing you then and seeing you now, you've like literally grown so much, and I just love to see people from our hometown kind of get into their creativity, find their passions, and just like break out of the molding that was imposed on us growing up, and now that we're like finally free.
Wheaton is definitely one of those places where you just kind of grow up in this bubble.
Yeah.
When you go to college and everything, you finally get that chance to like get out of that bubble.
Exactly. Like we don't have the cookie cutter lives that we were expected to have. We go down our own path. So like speaking of your path, why did you choose to pursue a career or a passion, hobby, and how did that lead you into making a career being a videographer, photographer?
Yeah, for sure. So like, and I didn't really ever have this defining moment of like, I want to be a videographer, photographer. It kind of just happened. I took a photo class in high school and I enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, maybe this is what I want to do. Cause I didn't really know, like nothing else really like struck my interest. Like I didn't want to go to accounting. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't want to be a teacher, none of that stuff. I knew I wanted to go into like some sort of like arts field, but I didn't want to be like an artist cause I suck at drawing. Like I didn't want to do that. So like when I was able to like pick up a camera and start experimenting with like taking photos and stuff, I was like, okay, I like this. I think this is what I want to do. And then a little bit later down the road, my family grew up like traveling a lot. My aunt works for American Airlines. So like I was lucky enough to be able to travel the world a little bit. And I would always make like family videos, like with my camera. I would bring it along and like document like our trip and everything. I would edit it together in like iMovie, and I thought it was so good. I was like, man, this is great. Like this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do growing up. I want to make money doing this, and that's just kind of how I got into it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's kind of how I started. That's just like that was my inspiration.
Yeah. I remember iMovie was like the coolest thing growing up because it was like at its peak,
right?
Especially for us middle schoolers. Like I don't know. There was like a group of like skateboarder kids.
Right. A lot of videographers start off as skateboarders.
Yeah. And they always were talking about iMovie in class. I'm like, what the hell is iMovie?
Yeah.
I didn't hop on until very late. And now we have all this fancy stuff.
Right. Like Premiere, Final Cut. What's DaVinci Resolve is a new one. Mm-hmm. I haven't touched that yet, but I've heard really good things about it.
Exactly.
So you mentioned that you started in high school.
I did.
That was the main point. So now you're 24. So how long have you been doing this for?
As like a profession, quote unquote, probably only like a year and a half. Like once I graduated college, I started kind of doing freelance stuff, not full time, just like on the side. And then I started my full-time job as a videographer, photographer this past July. So July 2020. So I've been doing that less than a year. So like really this is still like the start of my career, if that makes sense.
So before it was just more like hobby based.
Before it was more hobby based. And in college, I got paid like $10 an hour by like one of the baseball coaches. He ran like a private, like baseball club for like young athletes. So I got paid to like create videos for him. So I guess that was kind of my first like paid like video job or whatever, but it wasn't anything that like if I could go back and redo it today, I would do a lot of things different.
Were they like recruitment videos?
They weren't recruitment videos. He owned like a club with like, he started off with like 5 athletes. So he wanted like social media videos of them like training. And so he could like promote them on social media and get more kids to come in. So now his club is like, he's got like hundreds of kids, I'm pretty sure. So it's really grown since then.
The power of media.
Yeah, right. The power of media. Like everything is digital now. Like this is the best time really for videographers and photographers to like start a career.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially right now with the pandemic. So obviously Zoom, everything is virtual now. Do you think like for yourself with Mattice Media that you've just gotten an increase or an influx of clients asking for videos?
Definitely. Even my last client, I'm not done finishing the video for him, but I just did a video for a chiropractor in Plainfield actually. And he was saying the same thing, like everything's like, he wants this videos to be digital so that he can use it to advertise on social media. Like print advertisement, I don't want to say it's dead, but it's definitely not going to have the impact of like digital advertisement. Like scrolling on Instagram or scrolling on Facebook and seeing a video is going to make more of an impact than like picking up a magazine and like seeing a picture and reading an article about it.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like to go a little bit off topic, like even static images on social media, responsive displays, like, or I should say static displays, even that is dying out. Yeah, don't just post an ad with just text. With text. And we've learned that with our podcast and our freelance work. It's like, it's the responsive display ads that's going to get.
You need to engage whoever's like on their phone scrolling. You need to like engage them somehow. And it's going to be more than just text on a screen now. Yeah, exactly. Which is crazy.
So you said you've only done this, I guess you're more advanced for a 1.5 years, but looking at your videos, your photos, it does not look like it's been 1.5 years. So how many like hours do you put into it?
I don't know. It's a good question. Like, it's not even like the amount of hours that I put in, but like it's just honing in on like the skills that I knew like I wasn't very good at, and like just practicing those skills and like making my edits like my own and not trying to copy somebody else's work, because in my field that's a really big thing right now. Copying other people's work, copying other people's like LUTs. I don't know if you know what LUTs are. They're like kind of like filters that you put on photos, but I try to stay away from that and like try to make things that are my own, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What would you say would be like your style with photography?
My style with photography specifically is usually more like natural, vibrant colors. I try not, because I know people who which different styles of photography are great. Like there's no right or wrong really, but like I do know photographers who tend to edit their photos on like the cooler side, a little bit more blue tones. And I know people who tend to edit more on the warmer side, a lot more like yellow, orange tones. And I do know photographers who edit like more of a dark photography, like a little bit more underexposed. So me, I try to keep things very natural, vibrant, not super edited, if that makes sense. I want things to just look organic kind of.
Got you.
Yeah, that's just my style.
Cool.
So since you've only been doing this for like 1 year professionally, but since high school it's been more of a hobby, what would you say is your favorite subject to like photograph
or like video or whatever?
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about photography, I started off doing like family portraits and portrait photos. Like a 1.5 years ago, that's what Mattice.
A lot of people start out with
that's the easiest way to get your foot in the door. Like family portraits, senior portraits, any sort of portraits in general, and also for videographers, weddings, because weddings will get you more weddings, and weddings will also get you the ability to network with the people at the wedding, because people will stop you and be like, hey, do you have a card? People like just guess at the wedding, and who knows, that person might be a business owner and they need a video for their business. So weddings is a really good thing for videographers to do when they're first starting out, even photographers obviously, because networking. And then like if you're specifically focusing in on photography, I'd recommend just like starting with like family portraits, senior portraits, just portraits in general. But what I enjoy photographing the most is I try to focus more on like product photos. So I've actually taken, because my website has gone through kind of like stages. So when I first started, I had like a family, like the portraits page. I've taken the portraits page down. I don't really advertise it anymore. Like I can still do portraits and stuff. And if someone asks me to do them, like I'm definitely open to do it. But I don't advertise myself as a portrait photographer anymore.
Right.
If I do photos, I prefer to photograph products. For me personally, I'm just more of an introvert. I like kind of like just being just me and like the product and like not having to worry about posing people or whatever. Like products don't move.
Right.
You just have like, as long as you have the right lighting equipment, you can make it look really good. Whereas like with people, like you can make them look good, but it's just that like posing them and everything is a lot of added stress for me, I feel like, and I would just like to avoid that. Same with like weddings, actually. So I've actually just recently taken weddings off of my page. I've decided to just strictly kind of focus more on like branding videos for businesses, more corporate stuff, because that's what I enjoy doing most. Weddings I'm actually shooting a wedding in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Weddings are, I like them, but they're very stressful. They're very fast paced. Like if you don't get the shot, you can't redo it.
And you can't mess.
You can't mess around with weddings.
A bridezilla.
Oh no, you can't mess. Luckily, I haven't had a bridezilla yet. I only have this wedding, and then I have two more weddings after that, and I should be done with weddings completely. Other than I'm okay with like, so you can also as a videographer and photographer, you can also be a second shooter.
Okay.
So like that's fine. There's no pressure on you as a second shooter, really. I mean, there is, but like you're not the one directly dealing with the bride and the groom, all that stuff.
You're the assistant.
So you're like more the assistant, so I'm fine with that. But like leading a wedding as a videographer, photographer, it's stressful. Yeah, it's
weddings go by really fast.
They go by really
it's
fast.
Like that, and then you have to get everything done, so you're staying on schedule because you got to make sure
you got to make sure everything stays on
stuff.
Yeah, and you can't miss a shot. You miss it.
But do you get free drinks at the bar though? And food?
I try. Oh, you do get free food.
I'm saying
I
like, but then you have to shoot everything going on.
See, I don't drink on the job. No, like I've had couples be like, yeah, if you want to have a drink or whatever, that's fine. I try not to do that. I'll just eat and then go back to like doing my thing.
Yeah. Okay. I had something on my mind that I wanted to say. I can attest to Lana's product shoot abilities because she did my girlfriend's product photo shoot. She owns Breezy Peach, which is a preserves business. So basically jams, jellies, strawberry, blueberry, peach, and all that. And oh my gosh, y'all have to go over to Breezy Peach, and it's on your website.
I think it is on my website. Yeah. Under the product photos.
Let me tell you, she made these photos look as if it was a high-end brand that's already shelved in Whole Foods.
It looked better than some high-end brands.
High key, and then we did the shoot literally where we're shooting this podcast. Like it's kind of just a regular nice kitchen, but the way the photos were, the lighting, everything.
Everything is about the lighting. As like a photographer and a videographer, if you're first starting out, like if you want to hone in on one skill specifically, focus on lighting. Lighting is absolutely huge and is looked over in a lot of like I guess I can't speak for like other schools, but the school that I went to, like it wasn't really taught to us other than like 3-point lighting, like creative actual like real world creative lighting wasn't taught to us. It's something that I had to learn by myself and like online, and thank God for YouTube.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, speaking of YouTube. Peter McKinnon.
Dude,
everybody knows Peter McKinnon.
I mean, when I first started off, he was my biggest inspiration. Yeah. I don't really watch him as much anymore. There's a lot of other YouTubers that I watch. Him not as much. He's kind of moved more towards vlogs and stuff. He started off with like tutorials, which are great. Now he's more vlogging and whatever. Like he's huge. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So he's like a photographer for the people who don't know, because I don't.
So he's a photographer, videographer, and he started out giving like how-to videos, like how to do the lighting, how to shoot this shot, this.
Is it very like quick, like 5-minute? Quick like that, or
some of them, and then but now he vlogs.
He used to have a 2-minute Tuesday thing.
Yeah, he did. I used to watch his videos religiously because I went through a phase where
Me too.
I love photography, I love videography. I looked at the videos I made. I said, I am trash. And I just gave up on myself. So don't
you
follow
can't
what
give
I
up.
did.
Don't give up on
Don't
yourself.
follow
You got
Brianna.
to keep working towards what you want to, working towards your goals. But
That was going to be a follow-up question. Like, who, besides Peter McKinnon, as we know, who is somebody else that you drove inspiration from?
Yeah, I actually pulled up my subscription list on YouTube because I knew that was going to be a question.
Yeah.
Honestly, like YouTube University, I know it's kind of a joke, but I learned like 90% of what I know from YouTube, not just from Peter McKinnon, but I just go through, there's a guy called Potato Jet. Love him.
Okay.
He's based in California. He does like a ton of work out there. There's another guy also in California. His name is Josh Yo. His channel is called Make Art Now. Another great cinematographer. There's a channel called Ive Media. They're more corporate video, but I've learned, for someone who's doing a lot more corporate stuff right now, I've learned a ton from them.
They're basic shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, like unfiltered. Yeah, okay, unfiltered. Okay, gotcha. But like Mark Bone, he's a great documentary cinematographer. If you're looking more for like photo and video, Chris Howe, based in Canada. He's a great person to follow. Another big one I know is Daniel. I used to watch, I watch him. Daniel Schiffer. If you're into video, he's kind of known for creating like cinematic B-roll, if that makes sense. You know the cinematic B-roll stuff?
Yeah,
like slow motion.
McKinnon does that too.
Yeah, McKinnon does it too, but Daniel Schiffer is like really, that's like what he's known for. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I'm sure you've seen ads for have you seen ads for Full-Time Filmmaker? Mm-hmm. You haven't? Okay, no. I'm surprised. But Parker Wallback, he owns Full-Time Filmmaker. I'm subscribed to their channel, and there's a lot you can learn from them too.
Maybe I know it when I see it.
Probably, yeah.
Does he have brown hair?
Yeah, he's kind of tan.
I think I know who you're talking about if I see him. Send us all of these people so we can put them in the description.
There's so many. Like you can learn so much from YouTube. Literally so much. Brady Bissett, he's in like Vermont or whatever, cinematographer. He's awesome. Gerald Undone, if you're looking for like technical specs of a camera or reviews of cameras, like he's great. Like there's just I'm not gonna go through all of my subscriptions because there's too many. There's too many. But yeah,
you're gonna be like Andy.
You're gonna have literally this long of a thing of subscriptions. But yeah.
So YouTube is definitely like a different type of like search engine like Google. Yes. So would you say that's where you learned majority of your stuff? I'm like, you didn't go to school to study.
I went to school to study film and video production. Okay. But I learned more from YouTube. And YouTube's free.
Yeah.
YouTube is free.
Bro,
for now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's like that'd be a game changer.
Because they already got me with the YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm. They did?
And no, like I never realized that they would do something like that, or like the YouTube music. I'm like, please don't make YouTube a platform. I have so many subscriptions.
There's too many things on there for them to do that. But I mean, that would be definitely a game changer.
Oh my gosh! Even if they charged people like $1 a month or like something super small, like they would make a ton of money.
They already make a ton of money as is. They don't
right. That's true.
It's starting to have like people be able to be like a part of a community on your like pages now. So you get paid through that, and I'm pretty sure they take a percentage out of.
I mean, everybody wants to be a YouTuber now. Everybody I even thought about it. Like everybody wants to be a famous YouTuber because like you can make a living off YouTube. I have one of my friends in LA. His full-time job is for a YouTuber. His name's Carter, the big YouTube channel. It's Carter Sharer, I think. He's like, he makes videos targeted towards like younger kids. The dude's got millions of subscribers, makes probably millions of dollars a year. My friend is, he started off as an editor and is now a producer for him. The dude bought him a car. Like he's got like 2 houses, one and a half. Is he hired?
We gonna have to get up.
But no, like you could like, and a lot of my friends live in LA, and like, there's a ton of YouTubers out there just like making millions of dollars, just like making YouTube. Like, but YouTube's also a hard career.
Yeah, and
it's not easy.
People think so concentrated. Yeah, like we post our videos to YouTube, and I mean everybody. It's a free resource. So it's just like Instagram, Facebook. If you want it, you can have it.
Right.
But like you can easily see who's trying to be the next big thing and who's just trying to have fun and utilize the platform.
Who's following the trend.
Exactly. Like, I don't want people to like see our platform and be like, oh, they're just trying to do this. And like, no, like, this is us.
Right.
It's here.
Right.
Watch it.
Right.
It's
Exactly. Yeah.
like genuine, evergreen content.
You're not trying to copy anything.
Exactly. And all these clickbait videos and this and that and the other.
Right. So much clickbait out there.
It's
so much.
So much. And but I mean, like, hey, if you have a personality and you have the videography skills, the writing skills, then do it.
Right.
Make your money. Like, I am not dogging on YouTubers. They make more money than me.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I am not complaining.
YouTube is not an easy career.
Yeah.
You have to be on your feet all the time. Well, not on your feet. You have to be like just thinking about content all the time. Same with like famous TikTokers. They need to be like, I mean, everyone's like, oh, TikTok's such a joke. Like, it's a joke career or whatever. They have to be like thinking about like the next big thing on like all the time. Yeah. Always making content.
People hate these creators until they start asking if they're hiring them.
Right, exactly. Right. And like also as a videographer, like I focus more on the cinematography part of things, of like the actual shooting, whereas you can go into different parts of video production. Like, you can be an editor, work for a famous YouTuber like my friend did, and make a lot of money from that.
Yeah.
People who want to, there's always going to be like people on YouTube like trying to hire editors. Like,
I mean,
a lot of
if we do get big, if anybody is an editor wants to edit our videos, please.
Yeah.
We are tired of this shit.
Right.
And we're tired of audio too.
Like once you get to a point in your career where like as a videographer where you don't want to edit your videos anymore. Yeah. You don't want to do that. Like, you want to shoot, you just want to have somebody exactly. Have somebody else edit. Yeah. Like that's the goal, to have another editor.
So technicalities, let's get into that.
Okay.
What kind of equipment do you use?
So I started off when I was more of like a hobbyist with Canon. Okay. I had a Canon Rebel T3i or something like that, and then just the kit lens. And at the time I was like, this is great, this is fine. And then I upgraded to the Canon 80D when I was in, I was probably like freshman year of college. And I upgraded to a 25 to 104 millimeter lens. And that was definitely an upgrade. It was great. I enjoyed it a lot. But then I switched from about 2 years ago, after I graduated college. About 2 years? Is it like 2 years? I don't know. I don't know.
Don't date me.
Yeah, right. I switched to Sony.
Okay.
The Sony A7 III.
Ooh, you got money.
Right. All I hear is Canon. So once you go to Sony, that's
Sony's expensive. I mean, Canon's also super expensive.
But that Sony A7.
The Sony A7 III, I switched to that because of it could shoot 4K, 24 megapixel sensor, small form factor. And I didn't have a ton of like Canon lenses other than the kit lens and that other lens and I think I had a 50 mil, but they're not very expensive. So I was like, if I'm going to make the switch to Sony, I'm going to do it now.
Right.
So I got that. And then I got, what was the lens that I got with that? I don't remember specifically, but I got the lens to go with the Sony A7 III. And then after that, I still have that camera actually, and I use it more for photo projects. Actually, I'm pretty sure I use that one for like the Breezy Peach photos. But if I'm doing video work now, I recently got this past year the Sony A7S III, which that's a pricey camera.
Yeah.
That's focused more on video than photo. So it's a 12, instead of having a 24 megapixel sensor, it's a 12 megapixel sensor. It's got 4K 24 frames per second, 4K 60, 4K 120. And that's all I was looking for. So I was like, that's the one that I want. That's the one that
So 4K is like new, right? Is that like the amount of pixels that's in it?
Now.
Yeah,
it's a 5K now.
But here's the thing, 4K is not going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
Right.
So I'm fine with having a camera that only shoots up to 4K.
4K is now going to be more affordable because people are buying 5K. Think of the iPhone. You have the 5, 6, 7, 8, keep on going and going. Like all the YouTube videos you see right now,
they're only 4K. They can't even go higher than 4K.
Yeah, but they will
eventually. In a couple years, but right now, no.
Yeah.
So how do you determine if it's like 4K or whatever? Is it just the pixels in the video, or like?
So like if you have say you're shooting video and you have a shot and it's only in 1080, like HD, it's not going to look as sharp as if it was in 4K. 4K also gives you the ability to crop into a shot. So if you have a shot that's 1080, you can't really zoom in or anything without it being pixelated. But if you have a shot that's 4K, you can zoom in and still have a nice looking shot. So you can like have, it's more versatile, if that makes sense.
So this footage is 1080. So sorry, y'all. Zoom in, you'll see all the pixels. It's nice to see that you truly invested in yourself, though. Right? Constantly, gradually, not only honing your skills with what you have, and then building on that.
If you're just starting off, you don't need the best camera. You don't need the best lens. If you have an iPhone, like, you just start there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What we're doing
there? Yeah, you just start there.
Have you seen the YouTube video? It's something along the title lines of professional photographer uses like a regular camera.
I think I've seen
and then
videos
like
that.
Uses a red cinematic camera.
I think so. I think that's a full-time filmmaker video.
It might be. And I was watching it and I was like, the professional, I think there's actually a couple videos like that.
Yeah, I think that's full-time filmmaker that does that.
The professional dude who used the regular everyday camera stuff is beautiful.
Right.
And then the amateur.
It's all about your skills.
Yeah, the amateur video on the cinematic camera, the red, it was decent, but I'm just like, needs some work.
It's all about your skills. The person who's holding the camera, it's all about that. You can give an amateur videographer, like you said, like a red, which is like can be up to like a $40,000 camera.
Yeah.
And like they can
cost too damn much.
Right, exactly. Oh, the Arri Alexas, $100,000.
That's why these movies be having hella big budgets.
Oh,
they have multiple of those cameras.
Right, multiple.
Oh my gosh.
And but the thing, like, also what's crazy is like we're in 2021. We're at the point where like Red just released, not just released, probably a few months ago. Red released a Red Komodo camera, and I want to say, is it cool if I double check how much it is? It's under 10K. Red.
10K in quality or
dollars? Okay, so the Red Komodo is about $6,000. But that's for like in the video.
That's about post Timmy's.
Yeah. So
that
like
camera look little as hell.
It's little.
It's
little and compact. Like it's literally just a box.
Oh no.
But it's a Red camera.
But that quality though.
The quality is going to be really good. But it's crazy how like Red is like a brand that was so what's the word? Not unattainable. Like when you're like trying to reach something, but like you can't because you don't have the budget. Is it exclusive? Well, we'll just do exclusive. Yeah. Red was like more exclusive to like videographers who like either were in the cinema industry, like working in LA, like using Red cameras, or like I guess you can use Reds out here. Like I'm not saying everything's in LA, but like a lot of it's in LA if you want to do the work that I'm striving to do. Like in 10 years, hopefully I'll be in LA. We'll see. But
you will, manifest it.
Yeah, right. Reds were just these exclusive cameras that were inaccessible to anybody who wasn't really in that film industry in Los Angeles because the cameras are so expensive, really. But now they released a camera. Like, okay, when you look at it, 6K is like to you or me, it's a lot of money. But but for like video production companies who like do video out here. Like professionally, like they're still making really good money, right? But they don't want to spend 40K on a camera. They can now buy a Red for 6K. You know what I mean?
So essentially, this changed the game.
Yeah, there's also there's a camera called the Z Cam. I think that one's even less. It's not by Red. I forgot what company, but it does a lot of like it creates really good quality footage, and it's like 4K or something, like $4,000 or something like that. Like even my Sony A7S III. It was also like $4,000, but like it shoots really good quality. You know, like 2021 has been like, or 2020 has been the year that they've released these amazing cameras. Yeah. Like all these companies are just fighting with each other at this point, like trying to release like a better camera. Like I would say 2019 has been like the biggest like year for cameras in a long time. Like the Sony A7S III came out, the Canon R5, the Canon R6 came out. Sony released an FX3. Like there's I don't really follow Fuji that much, but I know Fuji, I think, released a new camera. Panasonic, I think, released a new one. Like there's just so many.
They're always sold out everywhere.
Yeah, there's just so many new cameras on the market.
With the spike of videographers, photographers, podcasters, different headphones, mics, so much equipment is always sold out. So I mean, your field. It's going up. I remember in high school they're saying, "Oh yeah, you can't really make money."
Right? No, yeah, that's what my parents told me too. My mom was like, in high school, she's like, "I don't know if you should go into this career field because I don't know if you're gonna find a job."
Right.
But like, here I am now, like with a job, like doing fine, and
your work ethic.
Yeah,
that's all your work ethic.
Yeah,
you have to give credit to yourself for not letting those stigmas get to you.
Right. Honestly. Don't let anybody stop you. I'm not gonna be cliche and be like, don't let anybody stop you from following your dreams, because like I don't know, I'm not like, I'm a bit of a realist, and I'm like, if I thought I wasn't good at this, I wouldn't be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn either. I'm not
talking shit.
No, I'm not saying I'm this great videographer, amazing photographer, best in the world, because I'm not. Mm-hmm. But I know that I'm good enough to make a living off of this stuff. Mm-hmm. As long as I'm good enough to make a living off of it, like I'm gonna keep doing it. Like I don't have to be the best.
Love it.
Don't have to be the best at it. I always strive to be the best, but like the hard reality is there's always gonna be somebody better than you.
Right.
In anything that you do.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah.
As long as you believe in yourself and you know what you can do, that's all that matters at the end of the day, to be honest.
Right.
So from your years of experience, what piece of equipment would you feel is like not worth buying that you bought?
It's hard also as like a videographer, photographer, someone who's just starting out, you want the best gear all the time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people tell you like, don't do that. Like it's not the gear that matters, it's your skills. I'm trying to think of something that like I bought, it was just useless. So it's a hard question because I try to be very like careful with what I buy. Mm-hmm. I'm actually not sure if there's anything where I was like, oh, I never used it.
You research everything before you
buy see, that's the thing. You just got to research everything. And like, what's nice about photo and video production, like if you're a photographer, videographer, you have the option to rent equipment for projects before you buy it. So like, for weddings, I'll rent another camera. I'm not going to go out and buy another camera. I'll rent another camera for like $100 for the day, but like that $100 is covered with the price that the couple like pays you to be there. So for a lot of like jobs or rent lighting, like that video that I made with Diane and Simon. Yeah. One of the lights that I was using,
which was dope as hell, by the way.
Yeah, that was honestly, that was probably my favorite project that I've worked on to this date. I really enjoyed that one. But I rented one of the lights that we used. Didn't own it because the light costs like, I am looking to purchase a light like it. It's like a little over $1,000. But at the time I was like, I don't need to purchase it. Like I'm just gonna rent it for like $60. So renting gear is huge. If you're just starting out and don't have the budget to buy like equipment for yourself. I feel like I don't have an answer for like the piece of equipment that I don't use, unfortunately.
Well, that's good. You use everything that you pay for.
Yeah, I think so.
It's seen as this expensive.
Right. I'm like, if I'm paying like $300, $400, $500 for this, I'm using it. Right. I don't care how stupid it is, I'm using it. Right. Oh, I guess there is like, when I first started doing weddings, I bought these, they're called the Tascam DR10L lav mics. So they're wireless lav mics, which you hook onto like the bride and then the groom and the officiant. So I bought 3 of them. They're each $200, so that's about $600. And I don't really use them because I now use the Rode Wireless Go, which is a same thing. It's a wireless lav mic, but it hooks directly into your camera so that you don't have to sync up audio and editing. Whereas with the Tascam, it's like this separate audio. It's a separate audio source. So you have to sync it up in editing, and it's not like a huge deal, but it's also time consuming. Yeah. So I'm actually thinking about selling those. I probably will soon, but I don't really use those anymore. And that's like $600 that I don't use, you know?
Okay. So hot take. What is your opinion about iPhone photography, videography? Now, I think it's great for personal use.
Yeah. 100%.
I feel like probably half of the price of the phone of an iPhone is because of
the
camera.
Yeah.
And
that portrait mode.
Yeah, and then you have company. True. You have that changed the game. Everybody like, look at me, the portrait mode. But there's companies like Movement. I don't know if you've heard of Movement, but basically they sell accessories. Like little iPhone lenses, accessories, and the quality is pretty decent.
Pretty good, yeah.
But again, as we talked about before, it's all about the skill, not the equipment. So like, what is your take on iPhone photography, videography, and like all the accessories that come with it? You think that's a threat to you? I feel like it's the easy answer, but
I don't see iPhone videography, photography as a threat to me. I think if you're just starting out with video and photo, that's a great place to start. You can like buy those little lenses from Movement and like experiment with like everyday objects, or like experiment with like maybe you know somebody who owns a business, like maybe you go to a gym, like a privately owned gym, and you're like, hey, can I make a video for you for free? And you use your iPhone and like one of those lenses, or maybe even just your iPhone, just like practice. And I think that's important. Like, it doesn't matter what camera you have in the beginning, just practice and hone in on your skills. But as you become more of a professional, I do think you need to get a professional camera.
Right.
And not only just because it's a professional camera, but it'd be weird for me to show up to a client shoot with an iPhone and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, they're paying me over $1,000 or whatever to film their video on an iPhone, their video for their business. Like, there's like, and there's also only so much an iPhone can do. Like, yeah, it's got decent photos. It's got portrait mode. Like, it can shoot, I think it can shoot like, I don't want to say, I could be wrong, like something up to like 240 frames per second. So you get that slow motion, but it's just not the quality my Sony camera would give me.
Right.
My Sony camera would still give me better quality than this iPhone if I took a picture. This could have a 48, I actually don't know how many megapixels this is an iPhone 12 Pro. Yeah, 12 Pro. I don't know how many megapixels.
The iPhone 12 Pro. I remember when the 8 was like.
Yeah, right. No, like no matter what. No, I can't say no matter what because I don't know what the future holds for these cameras, because these are amazing cameras.
Yeah.
They're right now at this time, they're just not the quality a professional like DSLR or mirrorless camera would give you, if that makes sense. So if you're just starting out, yes, iPhone is fine. Practice your skills, like practice taking photos with it, creating videos with it. But as you want to advance your career, you need to start looking into like a more professional camera.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna get? Because
to the
every single year the camera improves, and the fact that the iPhones can now shoot in 4K,
right?
I'm very impressed. I'm like, when is this stopping?
Right. But the thing is, like,
you can't put a red software in an iPhone,
right?
And at that point, it's like, okay, y'all just need to stop. Are you a camera? Or are you a phone?
Right. Exactly. And it's interesting because some of the commercials for the iPhone 12 Pro was like geared towards like people using the phone like on a movie. I don't know if you've seen that commercial. It's like people are using the 12 Pro like on a movie set and everything. Like,
I've seen iPhone created movies.
And they're impressive. Like, but like and you can do it like if you're going for like a specific art form, but like in today's real world situation, like what the normal professionals use is usually not an iPhone. Yeah. And but here's another thing. Are you just an Instagrammer? Do you have millions of followers on Instagram? And like,
then it's probably perfect.
Yeah, then the iPhone's perfect for you. I mean, you can also get it like at that point you're probably pretty well off and you can afford another camera.
Right.
But at that point, like, the iPhone works perfect for you. So I guess it depends on your platform.
Yeah.
Like if you're just an Instagrammer, like, you can probably just make your money with an iPhone. Crazy.
So for someone who wants to like improve professionally, how do you educate yourself to take better photos? Like, do you look at what you taken before and then you're like, oh, I caught something there, I know I can do better? Like, how do you, what would you say is your process on how to take better photos?
It's really just experience, because you only learn from, it's experience mixed with YouTube. Because you learn from your mistakes. So I've made mistakes on like during client shoots before. Like when I was here shooting for Breezy Peach, the light fell on the table because I didn't have sandbags.
She broke all my wine glasses.
I did. I sent them new ones, but I did break like 6 wine glasses. But that was a mistake that I've learned, and like now on my shoots that I go on, I always bring sandbags for that light stand. I'm like, this is not falling over again.
I do not want to send people wine glasses.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like you learn from your mistakes, and I actually just recently, or on one of my shoots, I was shooting. I think it was family portraits, and I didn't realize this when I was shooting, but there was like I was taking photos, and there was like a sun flare in it. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I just couldn't see it because it was too in the moment. But when I put the pictures on my computer, I noticed like half of them had like that sun flare, and it was it's usable, but it's like not to my expectations of work. So I'm like, I'm just gonna have to trash all these. So it's like learning about like those little things like you only get to learn when you do it, when you experience it. Yeah. Okay. I'm a big like supporter of like learn from your mistakes. Mm-hmm. You know,
and that's applicable to anything.
Right. Exactly. Anything in life, learn from your mistakes.
Mm-hmm. So how do you differentiate an average photo or a good photo and like a really professional photo? Scrolling through Instagram, I can't tell. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
And it's hard.
I feel like it's creatives like yourself, you have just an eye. Like,
right.
What makes it really
a good photo? Like that's a great question. It's also hard to answer because I can't. It's subjective. It's essentially photos like an art form. Mm-hmm. Like you can't tell an artist or a painter like this is trash because art is subjective. Photography is also an art form, so for the most part it's subjective. But like if we're gonna like talk about technically like what makes a good photo, I'm sure you heard of like rule of thirds. Yep. Like rule of thirds is a thing for a reason. Mm-hmm. But you can also break that rule of thirds and still take a really good photo. Right. But like rule of thirds is there for like guidelines and for a reason. Also, when I'm taking photos, I try to have, if I'm taking like an artistic type or creative photo, I always try to have a foreground object, a middle ground object, which is usually like the product, and then a background. Gotcha. Because that will create depth in the photo, and you don't want a photo looking flat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So just always try, whether it's photo or video production, like if I'm like filming a video or whatever, I also try to have like little like foreground elements when I can to create depth. Mm-hmm. That's just me personally, and that's something I've learned from experience. Also, a lot of YouTubers will say it too. Like you need to create depth. You can't have this flat background video or photo. So like if you were like doing a talking head or interview, whatever. So I do a lot of like interview videos for work and for my like full-time job, and for when I'm making like videos for local companies. A lot of them will be interview, like the owner will be sitting in a chair or something. I'll be asking questions off camera. They'll be answering them, but I don't want them like with just a wall directly behind them. Right. I want them at an angle more so that I can create depth with like interesting backgrounds. Yeah. And even if it's just a wall, like maybe there's something on the wall that will help create depth. You know what I mean? I don't want it just like a flat background. Mm-hmm. So it's just try to create depth in whatever you're trying to shoot. Yeah. I'm like looking at our footage right now, I'm like, dang. But I mean, podcast is different. Podcast is different. You can get away with just straight head on. Right, exactly. And we don't have a switcher, so we can't really have different angles. Yeah. But you know what's so interesting? I was scrolling through Instagram before you came over, is people are reverting back to more retro styles of photography. Yeah, that's the thing. Again, history always repeats itself. Yeah. So we've gone from these grainy, pixelated, like 4:6 ratio photos, and then we build ourselves to have these pristine, clear-cut, crisp photos, and now it's like going back. Everybody's like, everything looks the same. So now you're kind of like more hipster, more retro. Yeah. If you have a picture that's more tilted, right? A little bit abstract. Grainy, abstract. So it's really interesting to see that retro style of photography is coming back. It's like all about that photographer too, because I do follow accounts for like that's their style, more like the grainy film. Yeah.
They make apps that literally
that do
distort
it
your
for
picture
you.
like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And like the filters on IG and everything. I mean, I use them.
Yeah, they are really cool. That's not my style, but I can appreciate them. There's film photography is making a comeback too. You know, like actual film.
I have so many friends who have film cameras.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, look at y'all little.
Yeah, I would love to have like what were those things called? Oh, like the thing you take a picture, Polaroid. I would love to have a vintage Polaroid.
Hey, I'm all for people taking their time because we are just so overly consumed with instant gratification where you just take a picture, upload it, and then boom, that's it. Like, no, take the picture, go home, sit with it, develop it,
and like
look at it, then post.
And we take advantage of the fact that we can take as many photos as we want on a camera.
And
whereas like a film camera, you have to be very like film costs money. You know what I mean? Like you have to be very precise with what photos you actually want to take, which photos are actually worth taking. Actually, now that you say it, I feel like I want to get one and just like next vacation I go on, I think I'm gonna bring like a film camera or whatever, like just like a little disposable.
You should.
Do they even sell those anymore?
Yeah, they do. Okay. You go to Target, there's literally in the photo camera section, there's Polaroids everywhere. They
have the like clear ones too, but I don't know if you want like a more old school.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they have a mixture. They have cameras where it's a combined digital and a Polaroid as well. So you don't get the full experience, but go to your local
Walgreens
store,
B&H.
Guitar Center, all those, or just if they're even around, just the mom and pop photography stores in the cities.
Right.
Definitely.
So you said that you don't really do like portraits anymore. You're more item based. But when you do portraits with like clients or videos with clients, what is your process for shooting with them? Like, how does that start? Like,
usually like. I just try to make them feel as comfortable as possible. Whether I'm making like a video with the owner in it, like a branding video, they're talking in it, because most people aren't comfortable on camera. I'm not even comfortable on camera, so I get it.
You're doing great.
I get it. Yeah. And same with like family portraits. Usually it's just an average family. Like they're not always in front of the camera, and a lot of times they'll be a little bit nervous. Or especially like couples portraits. I've done couples portraits before. Couples will be a little bit nervous. But occasionally you do get that couple who's like perfect. Like they know how to pose themselves. Or this last video that I did for a chiropractor, like he did an interview portion. Amazing. Like normally it takes like a half hour for me to do it with somebody who's not comfortable in front of camera. He probably finishes in about 15 minutes. Like, he was very comfortable. Spoke fine and everything, but like most people are very nervous, so I just try to like be like, hey, we're just having a conversation, like just talk to me. Like I know it's hard to like avoid the camera, like I know I can't say just pretend it's not there, because it is, but I mean just we're having a conversation. Like,
if you turn on like music,
we're having a conversation.
You turn on like music, like to get them in the mood.
It depends on the photo shoot, because like if it's like a family photo shoot, then like it's kind of weird if I'm like playing music.
Yeah.
Especially if I have kids just like running around or whatever.
Right.
But if it's like I guess if like it was just like if I was doing a solo portrait session with somebody, like I can turn on music or whatever. Like even like with couples, you can turn on some like kind of like romantic music, whatever. Set the mood, right? Yeah, exactly.
Spill the tea though. Any difficult clients? Any interesting stories?
What do you do with them?
Or if you sign an NDA contract, I don't say anything. But like, how do you go about dealing with difficult clients? I can only imagine, like, especially like for portrait shoots, maybe some photographers have to deal with divas, those type of personalities. So how do you go about that?
So luckily in my career, I mean, I can't. It sounds like I've been doing this for 10 years. I've only been doing this for about 2 years, but
claim it.
Luckily, I've only had one client that I've really not enjoyed working with. We don't work together anymore, but I did one.
It was Bree, wasn't it?
Right. No, it was obviously I'm not going to name drop or anything.
Yeah.
It was this lady who owned her own fitness, health, wellness website or like business. And I did a port. She was one of my first clients. And this is where I say, like, you learn from your mistakes. I never had her sign a contract, which if you are a beginning photographer or videographer, every job that you do, you need a contract stating everything that you're going to do for them and how much you're getting paid for. So I didn't have a contract. I went to, I met her at an apartment in LaGrange. She wanted some like personal branding photos for her site, for her social media. So I was like, cool. My rate is usually $150 an hour for photos at the time. And we kept like communicating, like it sounded like everything was like, that was a good rate. And I ended up staying 4 hours taking photos for her. So when I sent her the invoice for more than $150 an hour, because it was 4 hours, she was like super shocked. She was like, wait, what? I thought this was only gonna be $150. And I pointed her back to the email. I said, yeah, I said $150 per hour. You know what I mean?
Somebody can't read.
People, yeah, literally. Yeah. I didn't want to be like rude about it, but I was like, I was there for 4 hours.
So she cannot read the dash HR per hour.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we like had a phone call and everything, and like I wasn't gonna back down with like she ended up paying me more than $150 an hour, but not as much as the invoice said, because there was miscommunication, and that's something I've learned now. So I don't remember what I ended up charging her, but like it wasn't what I wanted, but it also wasn't what she wanted. So we kind of made a compromise. Right. But she was a difficult client, not just because of that, but because she was one of those people who didn't like any photo of her because she was very picky about how she looked. A bit like what's the words? Didn't have a ton of self-confidence or whatever. She was like, oh, I look fat in this photo, or like, oh, I don't like my hair in this photo. I'm like, and like, I thought she looked fine in all of them. I thought the photos looked good. I showed somebody else. They thought they looked good. They were fine photos, but for her, she was like, oh, my tummy sticks out too much in this, or like stuff like that. And so like shooting with her was just kind of a pain in the ass, because she was always worried about how do my arms look? How does this look? And it was just not a fun shoot that I was at.
Right. Like you can't be her personal coach and
right, exactly. I'm like, you are a personal coach, yet you're like complaining. You're complaining that your tummy's too big. Like,
right.
But how do you reassure those clients? Because
I mean, I the only thing I could do is be like, no, you look fine. Like you look great. Trust me. Like, and she did look fine. Like
you gotta have that photographer. Yes, queen.
Yes. Yeah, right. Pretty much. But like, at the end of the day, we don't like. It was like a client that I don't regret having, because I learned from it. True. I definitely learned from it, but it's definitely like a client that I wouldn't want to work with again. She actually reached out to me not so long ago, asking to work together again, and I told her pretty much.
I had to respectfully decline your.
Yeah, right. I was like, you can find if you go on Thumbtack or whatever, you can probably find somebody else to do it, because she was still asking for cheap work. And I'm like, after all this, you're still gonna ask me for cheap work? That's right. And I was like, no, I'm not dealing with this.
Difficult clients.
Not dealing with
Khamari can attest to difficult clients. All right. We're not gonna tell a story, but child.
Like clients in general is like the hardest part about my job, I think, because most clients don't appreciate or can't understand the amount of work that actually goes into like editing photos, taking photos, shooting video, all the equipment that goes into both of them. People are looking for videos that only cost $200, and I'm like, that's not me. Like, you can probably find somebody who's just starting off with, and that's fine to pay him $200. But for my services and for what I do, I know my value, I guess, if that's the right word. Like, and I'm not going to charge you $200.
As all creative should.
Yeah.
And if you ever get a request for $200, be like, okay, I can use my iPhone, right?
Yeah, right. That's it, right? Exactly.
But those experiences help too. So now you know what to put out to different people, so they know what to take from you. And you know your worth and your value.
Right. And that's mostly for like videos. When it comes to photos, like obviously work going to be a little bit cheaper, like $200 is more typical. But like for when people come asking for a $200 video, like they just don't realize like the amount of work that comes into it.
Right.
Yeah.
So as creatives, we get inspiration from different mediums, from different places. Do you ever find yourself getting inspiration from the clients?
That's a good question because I would say like yes and no. Like there's some clients where it's like I show up to do the work and that's it. Like whereas like I did a video for this powerlifting gym called Force Powerlifting in Naperville. I did it back in December. Now I'm actually a member there. Like they actually give me a discount on their like monthly membership fee.
See, there you go.
See, and the owner there I really like. He's super cool. I wouldn't say like I was inspired or anything by him, but like that job led to another job. And like I still go to that gym, so like I still have that relationship with that client.
So it's more your connections with people.
Yeah, it's more connections with people, like making these connections, because usually one job, if you do a good job, leads to another one.
Right.
Word of mouth is the best form of marketing.
Yeah. I know you have a diverse portfolio of different types of videos and photos, weddings, products, portraits. When you go into a different type of, I guess you could say, not service, but a different type of, I don't know, client, would you say that sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't expect to like this, like products?
Yeah.
Is that what happened with you with product shoots? Like you're like, oh, I don't really know much. I'm like, oh, you know what? I actually do like it.
Right. I would say kind of, yeah. So like, I know I mentioned to you earlier, but I'm starting this kind of business with my friend. I'm not going to go super into it, but like we're creating digital menu. Wait, I was talking to you about this. Yeah, I was talking to you about this. So I'm starting a business with a friend. We're creating digital menus for restaurants with photos. Because normally when you scan a QR code at a restaurant, it brings
2021.
Right, it brings you up to a PDF menu, right? Hard to read, small font, no photos.
You gotta zoom in.
You gotta zoom in. So pretty much what we are designing is like personalized websites for each restaurant. So you scan the QR code, it brings you to the menu, but there's pictures for every item. There's a search bar, so you can search chicken, and only chicken dishes will come up. You can search gluten-free, only gluten-free will come up. You click on the photo of each item, and you can see a description of it. Is it gluten-free, nut-free, vegetarian, all that stuff. So it's more like friendly on the eyes. It's better than it's better than reading a PDF because you get to see like what you're ordering. Wow. So that is something that's food photography, and that's not something I expected to really enjoy. But when I did it for the first time for that restaurant, we've done it for one restaurant, just one, and we're working on kind of like expanding and doing it for more restaurants right now. But I enjoyed it because I don't know, food is also a product, and lighting food and everything, making it look really good is a lot of fun to me for some reason. I don't know why. Also, you get to eat food afterwards. Exactly. You know, I would say food photography is something that I didn't expect to really enjoy, but I enjoy it a lot. Yeah,
I like that. That's creativity and that's entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You saw a problem and you're like, you know what? Let me make a solution.
Well, I can't take the credit for it because it was my friend's idea and he brought me.
But you're a part of it though.
Yeah, I'm a part of it. Yeah.
So would it be an app that restaurants would purchase and that they would integrate that to their QR?
As of now, it's not an app. We have a guy who also does the website design, all the behind the scenes stuff. So I say it's a website, but I don't know technically. I think the closest thing to it would be a website, not necessarily an app. Literally, you scan the QR code and it brings you to that website for that restaurant. So it'll be the first restaurant we did was called Vise. So it's visemenu.com and it pulls up.
So it kind of be
so there's categories.
The domain.
Yeah, the domain.
So it's like a Wix, a Squarespace.
Yeah.
They use a domain, but it's customer. Can I talk? Custom. I can't say it.
Customized.
That's
customized
to the restaurant.
Right.
It's hard, as we know on this podcast.
Right.
So are you doing in going to different restaurants in your neighborhood and just asking them?
So we haven't even started that yet. We're still in the
I
beginning.
gotta do research first.
Yeah, well, yeah, which he's done. The guy who owns, he's gonna, my partner, or I guess, partner, he's doing like that, all that stuff. I'm just there to take photos and like, we're also in the process of creating like a marketing video for us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be called Peep Digital Marketing. That's what we're gonna be called. Peep. We have a logo and everything. We're building the website. We're just working on like the marketing video right now, and just building the website to be like perfect. And
That's
like, being
awesome.
able to like, we haven't even started going to other restaurants yet. So
When you guys go live,
yeah,
we have to invest in y'all.
Yeah, right.
We're
hoping
that's pretty cool.
We're hoping it's a hit. Honestly, like I'm kind of putting all my eggs in that basket right now. I'm waiting for like if it's gonna flop or not. Like we're gonna see.
You never know.
We'll never know until I try.
Yeah.
So I'd rather try and fail than not try. And
as you say, learn from your mistakes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So for the fam, and for us too, because I want to know, what is the most difficult part about being a photographer, and what advice would you give to someone who is going through a difficult time as a photographer right now?
It's hard.
Slash video.
Yeah.
Slash videographer.
Say the question one more time. I'm sorry.
What is the most difficult part about being a photographer slash videographer, and what advice would you have for someone to get through those difficult times?
I would say number one is finding clients for sure. Like if I could be a full-time freelancer right now and make like a good amount of money to live comfortably, like I would. But like I probably do maybe 2 client gigs a month, which is fine, like part-time because I have 2 other jobs. Like
Two other jobs?
Yeah.
I thought just one.
No. So I actually serve in the evenings at a restaurant. I'm actually considering, this is a little bit off topic, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm actually considering quitting my full-time job as a photographer for a corporation to just serve at night and then focus more on my freelance career, because I feel like ever since I took on this job as a photographer at the corporation, I've kind of put my freelance stuff on the back burner. And if I put it more on the front burner right now, there's more of a possible, like I think I can maybe do it more full time.
That's good advice right there. So I'm all about entrepreneurship. I read a lot of books and podcasts. And the number one thing that a lot of these successful entrepreneurs and business people say is like, quit. They quit.
Yeah, quit.
But quit when it's smart.
Right, that's what I'm waiting for.
When you have sufficient amount of funds in your bank account.
Exactly.
You're comfortable. You know that you're not going to be on the floor looking for pennies, living on friends' couches. Like, quit when it's smart.
Yeah.
But do quit. And then when you give your 100%
into what you want to do, you're going to flourish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of at that point where I can quit my other job. Because I have that serving job as a backup to still make money at night and like and still live comfortably. So like I've actually thought about like I might actually put in my 2 weeks like next week, but I don't know. I'm still like debating it. Yeah, you heard it here first. I'm still debating doing it, thinking about it. But yeah, so your question was difficulties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Difficulties finding clients. So when I first started my Mattice Media, the best way I found clients was through a site called Thumbtack. It's a freelance site, and there's other sites too. Like there's Fiverr. Yeah, Upwork is another one that I found a client on. Actually, one of my best clients that found me on Upwork. But Thumbtack is where I started like offering portrait family sessions, couples portraits, and that's how I got my foot in the door. So just I would recommend if you're like new at photography or videography, making a profile on either Thumbtack, not even just either Thumbtack, on like every freelance site that you can like find, make a profile for yourself because someone hopefully will see you, and that's how you get your foot in the door. Also through word of mouth, letting everybody know like, hey, this is what I do, letting your family know like I'm doing photo video, like if you know anybody that needs that, or if you know anybody who's getting married or whatever, like let me know and I'll do it for them at like at a good rate because I'm just beginning. If they want a beginning photographer for a good rate. And here's the thing with like, there's like, what's the word? There's a lot of people who say do free work in the beginning, but there's also a lot of people who are like, don't ever do free work. I'm kind of more in the middle. Like, I'm only going to do a job for free if it's quote unquote, what we call like a passion project. If it's like the
pro bono,
yeah, exactly. Like the boxing video I did with Diane and Simon, I did that for free because it was a passion project of mine. It was a project that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And that project is like my, like to this day still, like that's like my favorite project that I've worked on. And I would consider like some of my best work because like it was a passion project of mine, and it doesn't matter that I got paid or not. It was something that I enjoyed doing. And it's something that I can show other people, put in my reel, and like they can see it and be like, wow, this is really good or whatever. And then hire me off of that. But like free work, I wouldn't say is necessarily a bad thing. Like if you're first starting out, expect to do a little bit of free work, but don't let anybody take advantage of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't let an owner like one, be rude to you because you're new, and two, take advantage of you or your time because you're new.
Right.
Like have like some like self-integrity, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but like do work for free if it's going to benefit you in the long run. And who you're doing the work for is like can help you out in the long run. You know what I mean?
Man, I already know that you're gonna have so much success coming your way. Just the fact that you said that you're thinking about quitting your job, because that's that catalyst.
I know. That's what I'm like.
For a lot of entrepreneurs, creatives, freelancers, whatever. So like, I'm manifesting that you are just gonna go up from here. And I mean, just looking at your work now, like how reflect on your work now to your very first shoot, your very first video. Like, I want to hear your thoughts on critique yourself.
Let's go back to like very beginning when I wanted to do video and photo because I made videos like when I went on vacation with family. I'll still look back at those videos today, and at the time I was like, wow, these are amazing. Like I did so good on this, and then I'm looking back today and I'm like, wow, this is trash, complete trash. Like it's crazy to see how far I've come in a good way. In a good way, just like skill wise, like. I don't really know how to explain it or put it into words, but like if you would have like watched one of my really old edits of like my family vacation and like we went to like Hawaii or whatever, and then looked at like some of the work that I'm doing now, it's like night and day. Yeah, night and day for sure. But yeah, it's not photo and video production is not an easy career necessarily to get into because you have to put in time and effort in honing in on those skills. You can't just be a good photographer overnight. You can have like a good eye for things, like naturally a good eye, but like to be a really good photographer, videographer, you need to learn a lot. And I would recommend going to YouTube for a lot of it. And like that's another thing. Like I'm a big supporter of like if you want to be a photographer or videographer, you don't necessarily need college. Like if you can't afford college,
you're not going to that.
Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself.
College is a scam.
Yeah, really. Honestly, unless you're gonna be like a teacher, doctor, lawyer.
Yes, please go to college.
Right. Please. But like if you're going into like the arts, I can't speak for every art form or whatever, but like if you want to be a photographer specifically, I would recommend not going to college because the way you get your jobs is through being good at what you do and word of mouth. Same with film and video. I can see if you want to go to college at like a renowned like film and video production school, like
make sure it's feasible.
USC or like New York, I forget.
NYU,
yeah, right. Like, but those are expensive. Those are expensive, and they also don't guarantee you a job.
That's the thing with college.
They don't guarantee you a job. You know, like I mean, I don't regret going to college or anything, but like. For if someone came to me and asked me like, hey, I'm not sure I can afford college, I want to do what you're doing, should I go? I'd probably tell them no. Yeah. You don't like, I also got my full-time job as a videographer, photographer for the corporation. not because I was looking for it. It's because they were one of my freelance. They were one of my freelance clients, and they asked me if I wanted a full-time job. They didn't even ask if I had like a college background or anything. Like they gave me the job before they even like knew about my background.
Yeah.
They just knew I did good work for them.
And I mean, so many jobs now don't even require a degree. It's experience.
Yeah. It's experience.
Certifications is the new school.
Yeah.
Like
certifications.
Certifications like
Google Analytics.
Oh my gosh, my job. So I work for I guess you could say some marketing agency in the automotive industry. Mm-hmm. A lot of the positions don't require.
You work at Dealer Inspire, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's actually where my friend works, like the one that's starting this business with me.
There. Wait.
His name's JP.
Okay. All right, we'll have to connect that. Maybe I can see him on LinkedIn. But like there's so many different ways to get to where you want to go.
Right. College is not the only way to get there if you want to be a photographer, videographer specifically. Mm-hmm. If you're a teacher, you gotta go to college. Sorry, but you gotta.
If you're a surgeon, you better
be
going to cut me up.
Yeah, right. If my surgeon didn't go to college, he's not gonna be my surgeon. Ain't no way.
So with YouTube and you pretty much learning by experience, being the map or guide to how you manage your photography or your videography.
Yeah.
What else do you do to keep up with the times? Like, the techniques and the equipment, change so often.
It's so often.
They're coming into the industry and stuff like that. So what do you do to keep up with the times? And
I just try to stay active on social media because like if you see something new that's coming out, it's going to be on social media. Mm-hmm. And that's why I follow a lot of the YouTubers that I have subscribed to on social media, like Instagram, because they know what's coming out. Mm-hmm. Like Sony, Canon, Panasonic send those like YouTubers their new items, new products or whatever, and then they make reviews about it, put them on YouTube, but also like put it on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, and they make so much money just having reviews on equipment. What's that one guy, MBKHD?
Yeah. He makes millions.
What's his actual name?
I don't know.
I don't know. His freaking acronym, bro. Dude. But have you seen his first video ever?
It's probably in his bedroom.
Yeah, he's such a little kid. And the fact that it was a grainy.
Yeah. Now he's got a red camera.
He is probably one of the richest YouTubers in the world.
Him, Peter McKinnon, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I don't know. I just try to just keep up to date with things, like online. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Where can the fam find you? This is your chance to plug. What is your Instagram?
I pretty
Facebook,
much
email.
I pretty much mostly just use Instagram. I mean, I also have if you look up Mattice Media Production on Facebook. I have a Facebook page if you want to like it. On Instagram, my Instagram handle is Mattice Media, Mattice Media. And I don't have a Twitter. I don't know. I had a Twitter when I was in like high school, but I know Twitter is a huge platform too, but I'm not at the point where like I feel like I really want a Twitter.
It's not really videography friendly anyway.
Yes and no. Like I know a lot of videographers and photographers that do have Twitters, but like for me, Instagram is more my platform because you can like post videos and photos in a better way, I think. So yeah. No TikTok.
Really?
No. Because like TikTok is just so oversaturated with like photographers and videographers. Like there's nothing really new that I would be sharing with people. Like I feel like they can learn from I don't know. I just never really, and I also don't have the time for TikTok.
Awesome.
I say that, but then I spend like 2 hours at night before bed scrolling on
like, man, TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I used to be. I used to dog TikTok for the longest time. I finally downloaded this year. I was like, oh no, here we go.
If I ever have like free moments or whatever before bed, like I'll just keep scrolling. I'm like, oh, it's 2 a.m. Oops.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll drop your social media handles and website in the description. If you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, or you're watching on YouTube, Lana, thank you so much for being on the show. Hey, if you guys need product shoots, restaurant owners, if you need a new menu, hit her up in a couple months. Like, her work is fantastic.
Thank you.
We can attest to that. Since this is airing, since you guys are listening to this, she actually did our intro video and our photos. She's over here like, I'm like, wait, this is pre-recorded, so she doesn't know about it. Yeah, but you will, girl.
Okay.
So if you see the intro and the photos, that is Lana's work.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Pam.